This is a demonstration of vignette number 1, the new caller scenario. To begin, we're logged in as the user Harry Taylor. Harry is one of the HR Service Center agents, and when he comes to work every day, he has a dashboard that allows him to understand critical items that need his attention. One of the other things that Harry does is he manages the phone queue. If we open up our pop-up window here, I'm utilizing an IVR integration by a partner in Genius. What I've done to prepare this is I've connected my cell phone up to an employee's account. This employee, Maria, has a question about retirement. So if we go ahead and call into the service center, we're going to see some immediate changes because Harry's online and ready to go. As you can see, as soon as the call is here, the status changes to busy, and we can see specifically what number is coming through. So we already know that Maria has authenticated through the system, so let's go ahead and answer the phone. However, I do want some more information about who this is. So if we get rid of this window and take a look at her full profile, we can better understand who we're speaking with. What is her employee ID? What type of status is she? When did she start at the company? What type of employee is she? And you'll notice that there's lots of tabs of information here that allow Harry to effectively understand who he's speaking with. This allows us to make sure that we provide the best level of support possible. Now, as Harry's on the phone with her, we're speaking about different opportunities and different questions that she has, and there's one in particular about retirement that he doesn't really know the answer to. He might not be a retirement specialist. So what he can do is perhaps engage an additional individual on the phone, or a more likely use case is go ahead and take action and create a case for Maria. So let's go ahead and close the number just for now and get a case situated for her. Now, he knows that Maria was talking about retirement, which falls under a total rewards case. However, you'll notice that there's all different workflows here for the different types of cases so that it gets routed to the appropriate team. This makes sure that cases don't get bounced around and that your appropriate team members with the right skill sets actually work on the cases that come to them. When we selected the retirement case type, it gave me a draft of the information that we've collected so far. As we can see, it's pre-populated information about Maria. We can see that it has a retirement plan request, and it's even recommended the fact that it should go to the retirement specialist's team. Harry can fill out some additional information if there's anything else that he has from speaking with her, but let's go ahead and make this ready for work so that one of the specialists can pick it up. Once this is marked, we can see that Roger is the retirement specialist that was selected based off of his availability or skill set. When Roger receives this, he can use a number of items at his disposal to complete this request quickly. First of all, he has access to knowledge information. At the bottom of the screen, we can see that there's a number of articles that might be helpful for him. It's broken out into internal results as well as things that Maria might see in the portal. So if this article here about retirement information might be relevant for her, he can easily attach that and send her on her way. He also has additional information and instructions that might help him complete this request. For example, there are 3 specific knowledge articles that are most used in this situation, and the system is recommending he take a look at those first because they're probably going to help him the most. He also has specific instructions about what to do for each situation so that he can walk step by step through those and make sure that Maria gets her request filled out completely. As we know, we were on the phone with Maria, and let's say that we forgot to ask her a particular question that would actually help us fulfill this request. What we can do is engage with her directly from the case. We can ask for that information, post that, and she'll receive a notification and can enter that on her portal when she has a free moment. Let's check back in with Maria. As soon as she got off the phone with Harry, she received an email notification letting her know that her case has been opened. This notification is a great way for her to keep in touch with everything that's going on with the cases that she's opened. It also provides her a link to go visit the Employee Service Center to ask any questions or to input additional information. Let's take a look. When we click on that, it allows me to go to my service center. We're able to easily log in as Maria and take a look at what's going on. The service center is a great place to put announcements and events, things to get the employee excited about working for your company, as well as keep them up to date with activities. Maria happens to be a manager and she's onboarding a new individual, as well as all the questions that she's been asking. For example, there's our retirement plan question that we just asked. In this view, Maria has full access to all of the information about who's working on her case. We can see Roger, as well as the fact that there's some commentary. So they asked for some more information. She might need to enter that. The information that's provided back, perhaps that could even be in the form of an attachment. And that makes sure that Harry has the information that he needs so that when he passes this case over fully to Roger, that they can work together collaboratively and make sure that Maria, the employee, has the best experience possible without feeling like her case is bouncing around to multiple users. So if we head back to our persona of our agent, again, we can see the interaction that's passed back and forth, and we might want to attach the article that answers her question. For example, this one here about the retirement TSP information might be a great option. I just want to double check to make sure that this is correct before I move forward. I can see that it has everything that she's asking about. Specifically, it goes through the plan. I'm going to go ahead and rate this really helpful because I think it's something that can be used again, and I'm going to attach it to her case. By attaching this to her case, we're allowing the agent to use existing information without reinventing the wheel every time. So just by doing so, clicking that button and closing this out, we can now make sure that Maria has the appropriate information. At this point, we can say we are closed and ready to be completed, and we can update this case. Maria is then able to receive additional notifications. For example, as a contrast, here is the closure notification letting her know that that case that she just completed has been closed, and it gives her some information about additional articles that might be helpful. These could be steps that she needs to complete, as well as giving her a link to the satisfaction survey that she needs to complete. If we go ahead and take a look here, we can see what that is. Maria has some surveys available to her. If we drill into this one regarding the existing case that we just closed, she has a couple of simple questions to answer. She thinks that she was satisfied with the way the case was handled, it was easy to create the request, and it was completed in a timely manner. So she gives them a great response. This is a demonstration of vignette number 2, Contact for Status. To begin this demo, we're again logged in as Harry Taylor, our HR Service Center agent. He's manning the call queue as he did before, and we're going to call in as Maria. Now, since we did just open a case, in this example, we're actually going to go through some deflection possibilities so that we don't open multiple cases for a single employee. As we can see, again, when the incoming call comes in, we can go ahead and answer that, and we're redirected to Maria's information in the back. Now, like I said, in this example, we start to talk to her about her use case. She mentions the fact that she has some retirement questions. Now, if Harry didn't take her call the first time, he might not know that she actually already has an outstanding retirement inquiry case. So when we take a look at her information, one of the great things that ServiceNow provides is some details about what else is happening. So for example, you'll notice that one of the tabs here talks about existing cases. Not only does Maria have other cases going on with her new candidate and some other information, she actually has multiple cases open for a retirement plan inquiry. This is something that we want to avoid. If she does have the same question and she's answer shopping, we don't want to create multiple cases that give this individual, Roger, multiple things to work on, when in fact it's really just one question. So let's go ahead and actually drill into the existing case that we opened from the last vignette. In this example, we actually don't even have to change the ticket or create something and close it out automatically. We can redirect the employee to their existing case. We can give her the case number. We can even interact with her the same way that we have through this commentary, so that instead of creating duplicate items, we just simply add to the existing and make sure that she understands what she needs. For example, maybe when we sent her that knowledge article, she didn't read it. So we need to send that to her again so that she gets a new updated email. We can go ahead and reattach that article and make sure that she gets it this time so that she accepts the completion of this item and finds herself with some good customer service. From Maria's perspective, she has the ability, again, to use these email notifications to understand the closure of that case. And since we didn't have to create a duplicate case, she's not going to get a bunch of different emails referencing different case numbers. She's going to have that single case number that allows her to just check up on that one item. And if she ever has questions, she can always reference that again. It's never going to go away. We're always going to have a log of all of her entries so that she can go back and see what questions and what responses were sent to her before. This is a demonstration of vignette number 3, focused around employee knowledge self-service. For this demonstration, we're going to be logged in as Maria. Maria is our employee, and in order to get some information, she's logged into her Employee Service Center. Again, the Service Center is a place where employees can go to get general information about what's going on with the company, to look at their open cases, and to gather information. If Maria has a question about retirement, why shouldn't she be enabled to search even on her mobile device for retirement-based information? In this case, we are going to search for retirement. The system will bring up a number of items, services, and knowledge articles that might be helpful for me to use. This brings me to an article about the TSP program. Now, I want to call out the fact that ServiceNow allows for a lot of different filtering options. This means that each individual article can be targeted at a specific employee population. For example, contractors might have different benefits than other employees. If you have military individuals coming in, they might have different opportunities as well. So when you think about your employee base, you can target the entirety of an article. You could even target subsets of the article to those particular employees. This can be done via portion marking. In this example, we are only seeing the information that would be accessible and available to Maria. The knowledge base is also recommending other popular items, for example, other popular articles, as well as what folks have been reading in the past month that might be relevant for Maria to take a look at in case maybe this article wasn't specifically what she was looking for. We can still guide her to the place she needs to be. Now, while this article was helpful, it didn't answer specifically the question that we want, so we're going to provide some feedback. We're going to say, yes, in general, it was helpful, but it would be great to add some additional info. We'll submit that. That's going to allow the HR knowledge administrators to take that feedback, understand which articles are helpful and which are not, and make changes on them when they go through their review period. This is a demo of vignette number 4, Knowledge Authoring. For this demo, we'll be using the persona of Harry Taylor, playing the role of a knowledge manager. So he received an email notification that one of the articles that he authored got a medium review, which is something that he could look at to make that article better. So if we head to our knowledge management overview page that we're looking at here, he can see relevant information about article ratings, articles under review, different statistics about his team and the various knowledge bases and how the publishing is going, and specifically the commentary that's been left. For his case, in the last vignette, we actually added a small comment to one of the knowledge articles about retirement. We can see that Maria is looking for some more information about a particular topic, and she rated the article a 3, which isn't terrible, but we really want to strive for 5s. So if we drill into our article, Harry can now look to see how he can improve this article. If we take a look, you'll notice that we are in a published state, so we can't edit anything, but if we scroll down, we can see the content of the article, especially the portions marked specifically for the different types of workers. So he understands what Maria would see in this section here, as well as what might be internal only, or perhaps just for managers. He sees that there's a gap in knowledge and decides that he does want to update this article. We do a versioning process here at ServiceNow, so he can go ahead and check this out to make sure that we log the appropriate changes. Taking a look at this, now that it's available for me to update, we can now go into the actual body of the article and make the changes. Again, we can see the different portions, we can update these, we can move them around, as well as just make typical adjustments to an article. For example, if we wanted to add a picture, video content, or embed specific links to other areas of the solution. In this case, I know that I just want to make a couple of quick notes about some of these areas, so I can go in here and make those. Once I'm done editing this article, it needs to go back through a review process of 2 of my peers, and then go to an administrator. So when Harry hits publish, we're going to see a couple of individuals get involved. We can continue to edit until we're ready. As you'll notice, we can recall the approval at any time. And at the bottom, you can see that we have a couple of approvals that need to happen. We have our administrator, and we have a couple of knowledge managers that need to approve this at the first level and make sure that the commentary looks good. If we take a look at the specific user, Helen, she'll have a new item in her queue. There's our request. And Helen will be able to view the article to make sure that the appropriate changes are available. For example, she can see that Harry's the one that requested this, and we can see the article at the bottom with all of the information. So she can specifically read through, see what looks good, see the note that we just added to make sure that that's appropriate for editing, and in this case, she thinks that the article looks good. So we can go ahead and make some notes. Perhaps any suggestions for him, post that, and approve the request. When we head back to our knowledge article, we can start to see the immediate changes that are happening. At this point, our approvals will be updated to reflect Helen's comment, so we can see specifically that she said it looks good and we can move forward, and we can wait to get the approvals of the other individuals. Just to speed the demo along, I'll approve these on their behalf so that we can see the publishing process. Once we have approvals from all of the individuals, in this case we have the 2 knowledge managers and an administrator that needs to take a final review, the article can immediately go into a publishing status. You'll notice that now we can no longer edit it, we can see the new version has been published, and this will be immediately available to the users in the portal. This is a demonstration of vignette number 5, workflow management. To begin this demo, we're going to start with a notification. Harry, our call center manager, received a notification letting him know that there are some SLAs on his team that are nearing the breach point. He needs to go in and take a look at the team workload to see if he can resolve some of these issues. He clicks on a link to get to the system and is directed to his team's task board. This is a visual task board that allows Harry to understand the workload of each of the members in his team that are shown up at the top. Each of them has their own swim lane, and we can see the count of the cases that they're working on. If we scroll over, we can see, unfortunately, there's a lot of red bars, which means there are service level agreement breaches. We can also see that the workload seems to be really uneven. Roger has tons of cases, and some of the employees don't really have very many at all. So we might want to even this out. What's great about the task board is that you can simply drag and drop cases to other individuals. So say Suzette calls in sick, or in a case like this, we need to balance out some of these questions that are constantly going to Roger. We can very easily drag them and reassign them to other individuals. Just by doing this, what it'll do is you'll notice it changed the picture at the bottom. It reassigned that case and sent Stephen a notification letting him know that he has a new item to work on. Stephen will be able to see all of the history of the case that Roger was working on, so he can pick up right where he left off. We can also filter on our breached cases. This is a great way for me to understand perhaps which team member in particular might be struggling. So while Roger had almost 30 cases, he only has a couple of breached items, whereas some of these other individuals have quite a few and their caseload is much lower. Maybe there's a training opportunity for these folks that could be had. This is also a great place to add additional individuals. So for example, we could add a lane, which is essentially a new person, if he has a new person coming onto the team, or a specialist that has become available that can take some of these cases off of his hands. We can also see the status of cases with some of the checklists, and continue to filter and look for certain items if we need to make sure that cases are being addressed quickly. Let's take a look at one of the cases that Roger is working on. This request is for tuition reimbursement. Now, this was one of the ones that we might want to reassign from Roger because it's an easy case that can be addressed by different individuals. What we can do here is take a look at any available knowledge information. In this case, we have a great policy that allows me to understand specifically what's happening. So if we did need to reference this at any point or send it to the employee, we could absolutely send that. However, what's really great about the solution here is that we do have the ability to provide specific instructions and a checklist to walk individuals through. So even if the reassigned agent is not as familiar with the new work assignment, they're still able to easily walk through the process with these instructions. We even have a visual view that they can use. For example, this is a tuition reimbursement workflow. We can see where we're at, indicated by the green color, and what's coming. So agents can easily understand that the next step is an approval, and that down the line there's going to be some tasks for the employee, helping them better understand the overall process and complete cases in a timely manner.